guys, welcome back to Love Letters to Broadway, where we give you Broadway tips, tricks, advice, and share our adventures of all things Broadway. This is episode 10.
Yay!
Yay! My name is Skylar,
And I'm Michelle,
and this is the Big 10.
the Big Ten. I cannot believe we've been doing this for over 2.5 months already.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's wild. That is
Very
insane.
wild.
A lot
And
of adventures.
a lot of adventures, a lot of like stories and memories have formed that I think we're gonna always keep with us.
Yeah, a lot of things to discuss this week, too.
We have a lot to discuss. This week's gonna be a little bit different than what we've done in the past. We're still gonna do our same like hyperfixation songs, Broadway news, but then we're instead of reviewing a show, we're gonna do a little fun game because it's episode 10.
Yeah, do something a
Um,
little different.
yeah, so we'll be telling you like our top five musicals of all time and discussing that, and then we're gonna get into our top five songs from the musical of all time.
Yeah, and then as we go, if anything, if we see a new show and we're like, oh my gosh, this just knocked this one out of spot five or four or whatever. So we'll keep updating you every week if things change and kind of see if the new musicals that are coming out, if they are worthy of it.
Yeah, I think like when I was putting my list together, I already noticed that it was doing it a bit.
Yeah, me too. A lot of the new ones, but we'll get into that. Every week we start with hyperfixation songs, so we're still going to talk about our top five for this. Not, yeah, five.
No,
Uh,
you mean
top
top
three,
three
top three. Sorry, I'm
of
getting
this
confused.
week. It's
Of this
okay.
week. My brain.
Okay, listen,
So
listen, it's early morning. It's fine.
I'm, yeah, exactly. So we're gonna still start with that. And Michelle, do you want to start?
Um, okay, I gotta think through this for a second. Um, okay, I think at my number three spot is gonna be a song that's not a Broadway song,
Okay.
but I've recently gotten really into it. Again, like similar to what happened with Sabrina Carpenter weeks ago, and I know I discussed it on the podcast, but again, now my FYP is filling up with videos of the new girl group Cat's Eye.
Oh,
They
I've
were
never even heard
actually
of them.
they were formed by like two of the biggest record companies in the world, one from Korea and one from America. And they
Hmm.
merged together to form like a worldwide girl K-pop group.
Oh,
Um, like they're trying to kind of bring the girl groups back.
was it a TV show?
Yes, it's on Netflix.
Trisha Paytas talked about it. Sorry. Okay, keep going.
That's how you know it's good. If Trisha talks about it, then you
Yeah,
know it's good. But yeah,
I
the
actually
show is
heard of it.
called Dream Academy. But the girl group is called Cat's Eye, and in my number three spot for the week is their song Debut, which is so good. But it's in my number three spot, not even because the song, but because the dance is just so good that goes along with the song. You have to look it up.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Because I've heard of the group, but I never thought to even look them up. So I gotta do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know why. Like my FYP always changes like based on like I guess what really is like trending for the week. Because like it literally went from
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter right to them, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, mine is completely different. Mine is like organization and like Broadway and like meal prepping stuff
See,
like
that's
that.
the thing. Like I follow stuff like that, so I don't know why my
Sorry.
bless you.
My bad.
That's the thing. Like
Allergy
that's the
season.
stuff I follow too. So I don't know why it doesn't
Yeah, I don't know.
give me those recommendations, but it's fine. Um, I would say in it's so hard. Let's see. In my number two spot for the week is gonna be Sunset Boulevard from Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I cannot stop listening to it.
It's so good. I can't wait for the whole album though.
I cannot wait. I think it comes out October 25th. I think it's this week.
Wait, we should tell them what occurred this morning. Speaking of Sunset Boulevard, we're
So
so obsessed with it. Like
it's
we literally
so
just saw it,
good.
what, 2 weeks ago?
I cannot stop thinking about it.
Like, right? It was like 2 weeks ago.
It's really become one of my favorite musicals, and we'll get into it later. But so what happened this morning is that Skylar made my dreams come true.
Well, we had this whole plan, so we don't have tickets for today. It is a Saturday, and we wanted to go see something, but we lost everything last night. So I was like, all right, here's the plan. You take these shows, I'll try to get these shows for rush tickets this morning. And then last minute this morning, I was like, should I just do Sunset too? Like, should we both do it at the same time instead of trying Louis Armstrong? And Michelle was like, yeah. And then I got on and somehow got Orchestra Road G on the left side.
And just to say, we 100% manifested these seats
Oh,
last time
yeah.
we went to the show. So as we were walking out last time, I turned to Skylar and I pointed at seats and I was like, Skylar,
Yeah.
that is where I want to sit next time we come. Because in Act Two, after when he's singing Sunset Boulevard, he walks back in the audience through the left side. And I was like, I want that aisle seat. I want to be in the orchestra. I want us to see what it's like sitting closer. And
Yeah.
we literally, like, when Skylar texted me and she was like, Michelle, do I buy these? I was like, yes.
Well, and also what's important to note is that, like, when I decided to go on for Sunset, Michelle was like, I only want orchestra seats. And I was like, yeah. And then I go, like, that was a minute before the tickets went live. And then
Yeah.
I got on and it was
It was
orchestra.
orchestra.
And I
And
was
I
like, wait, what
never
just
see
happened?
people get orchestra
No,
through
it's,
today tickets.
we got rear mezzanine, right?
Anytime we finally got through. And also, just to be clear,
Yeah.
so Sunset was originally the show I was going to try for. So we ended up both trying for it. And Skylar got through. I could not get through. It kept saying all tickets were
Yeah.
being held. And I clicked it like the second the countdown
Well, did
finished.
you? Oh, I was gonna say, because I watched the countdown and I went,
I did too. And I
that's
couldn't get
weird.
it.
So that was manifest.
I'm so excited.
So
Like
we're going tonight.
When Skylar told me, I started like crying.
Yeah, and I was like, she's like, I have to take a shower now.
I gotta look good, gotta smell good. Gotta have that aisle
Literally.
seat, that aisle.
I gotta smell good. I'm dead. I have no idea what I'm gonna wear. Michelle's like, she's all showered, her hair is getting dried and stuff, and meanwhile, I'm literally in like a sweatshirt, my hair is back. I'm
It's
like,
okay,
oh
we got
shit, I gotta
time.
get moving.
We got time. It's only 10 a.m. and the show's at 8. But
Hmm.
I was thinking about it. I am tempted for us to have dinner in the city. Only timing lines though. I was thinking about
I was gonna
Ichiran.
ask you the same thing. I was about to ask you the same thing. Because, like, now, yeah. So we'll have to discuss that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's an off podcast
that's
discussion.
literally. But I'm excited for like the fall looks we're gonna do. I think
Oh
it'll be a
yeah.
cool video.
Yeah, we've been buying some nice outfits. I think we are really ready for this fall season. I'm proud of Skylar. She bought a new winter coat. She's ready for the winter.
Because keep in mind, I'm always freezing. So like last time we did the stage door for Sunset Boulevard, I was shivering. And Michelle's sitting there like she's fine. I'm like, oh. So I was like, I gotta get a jacket.
I think I was okay last time just because I was so hyped and like I wasn't even I was just
Yeah,
like, what is going on in the world right now?
exactly. Like
I was so
what?
focused in.
So
Um,
that's exciting.
okay, back to hyperfixation songs. My number one song for the week is again not a Broadway song.
Oh, really?
This was on my list a couple weeks ago, but it's Juno by Sabrina Carpenter. I just can't
Oh,
stop
okay.
listening to it. I really like it.
Hmm.
It's my jam of the week. It makes me groove.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
I haven't listened to it. I don't know. I just find that I just always gravitate towards like Broadway, even in the morning.
Yeah,
Yesterday I had The Outsiders on playing. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just an easy.
that's true. I do like like just sometimes putting on a show and just letting it play through. It's
Yeah,
very calming.
yeah, it really is. Very cool. I guess it's my turn now. So my top three are very interesting. In the third spot, I think I texted you that I was dying of laughter, but I rediscovered Shucked again and I'm like obsessed with it. So the corn mix song where they're like drunk and I just keep listening to it because I think it's so funny. Like, and then when they're singing the Friends song and they're like did it and they forget the lyrics halfway through it. That
Yeah.
kills me. So I've been re-listening to that. I've been re-listening to the whole album too.
It's
But
such
that's
a good
one,
show.
yeah, that's one I can't play like out loud, if that makes sense, because there's some things.
Yeah.
Um, but I've been really back obsessed with that.
Yeah,
Um,
I wouldn't play that album for your students.
no, I don't play that. I definitely do. I definitely do. The Disney A Whole New Sound a lot.
Mhm.
But we've been
Mm.
doing Halloween music a lot too.
Oh, you gotta do a little like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, Ghostbusters and all that jazz.
Ooh. Hocus Pocus.
Like the songs, but I definitely can't show them anything
No.
because it's scary, which is annoying because I would love to watch it.
You know, it's scary, but it really, like watching it, I mean, maybe it's also because we're adults now. It's not really too scary, Hocus Pocus. It's a Disney movie.
Yeah, they definitely watch it at home, but I would get in so much trouble if I put it on.
Yeah.
Um, Even like Halloween Town, I was thinking about doing, but then I was like, I don't know, is it too scary? And then I was,
See, I would argue that Halloween Town is scarier than Hocus Pocus.
um, I think I don't know.
Some of those costumes, especially in the
Well, yeah,
first movie
definitely
of the
that's what,
wolves and stuff, they are scary.
or the goblins. Yeah, that came into my head. I was like, that's scary. My only thing is like when they're luring like the Sanderson sister, they're like luring the kids.
Mm.
Like that would be creepy. But yeah,
But
I
you
don't
know
think
what?
it's like
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I don't think it's like scary. I just think like I
It
don't know.
could. All you need is that one student to get freaked out. But I will say, when I was younger, I didn't really pick up on that's what the Sanderson
Yeah.
sisters were doing. Like, I didn't realize that they were gonna like eat them.
Yeah.
I thought they were just like
I think it would go
being
right
there
over
for a
their head.
spell. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Because I was like, I really like on Fridays I try to do like Friday fun day. So I was like, "Ah, I really want to put a Halloween movie on for like a half hour. I was like, I can't because none of them are like the ones that I want.
We gotta talk about it. I feel like there are some you can maybe show.
Yeah, I
You
did
know,
the
there are even like Mickey Mouse Halloween
yeah, that's what
specials.
I did. I wound up doing because I was like, but I wanted something that I wanted to watch.
Mm.
But okay, back to it.
Mhm.
So number two, which is weird because we never discuss our hyperfixation songs. We just like we discuss it now, like pre. We don't do it pre-show. Does
Yeah,
that make
yeah.
sense?
We never plan it.
So you said that Michelle said that number two was Sunset Boulevard. Literally, mine was Sunset Boulevard too for number two. So that's
Really?
weird. Yeah, when you said it, I was like, oh, that's
Okay,
weird.
you know, something that Skylar and I have discovered recently is that we have telepathy.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Sometimes we're texting and we say like the same exact thing in the same exact way at the same exact time. And I'm just like, I literally message Skylar, I'm like, please get out of my brain.
Yeah, or like when we send the same TikTok at the same time.
Yeah, that was weird the other day.
Yeah.
We
So,
have weird
yeah,
moments.
weird moments. And then number one, going on like the spooky train, I've been listening to Rocky Horror and There's a Light. I've been
That
re-listening
one?
to. Yeah, don't know why.
Really? There's so
I
many
love
other
Rocky
songs I
Horror.
like. Rocky Horror is great. It's just there are other songs I like more from Rocky Horror than that one.
Yeah, I like that one. I don't know. I think it's like almost soothing, if that makes sense. Which
That's
is like
true.
weird. But I love that.
Did I ever tell you that years ago when I went to theater camp, we did a Rocky Horror number?
Oh, really?
We did science fiction double feature.
Love it.
And I was so proud because my solo line was Dr. X is gonna build a creature.
There you go. They're
Thank
actually
you.
doing a
Yeah.
reunion one by me at a theater, and they're having like an original cast member there. And tickets are only like $45. So I was like, I kind of want to go.
That's a good deal. Which cast member?
I don't remember. I could look it up. Hold on.
That's a good deal
Do,
though,
do, do, do. The
$45.
original Columbia.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's $45. I mean, not bad.
I wonder if people still dress up when they go.
I would love to, but I don't know how. Like, it's probably so expensive because, like, but we'll see. Maybe I'll go and I'll update all of you.
You could
That'll be
just get
fun.
the like the gold underwear or whatever.
That'll be
Magic.
tough. That'll be so yeah. So I've been listening to that. I love Rocky Horror, especially like around this time. I like to listen to like spooky music, and I'll always re-listen to that over and over again.
hmm
That's
Yeah, I'm definitely in the Halloween spirit now.
right
It's Halloween this week or next week now?
next week. It's a
Next week.
Thursday, which is annoying. Very annoying.
Hmm. I hope I
As
get
the
some
teacher,
trick-or-treaters.
I never get any. Just sad.
That's
That's all
really
right.
sad. I
I
love
am a teacher to deal with.
trick-or-treaters.
We made bone soup yesterday at the preschool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everyone brought in like food. So like pretzels were like witches' fingers and stuff like that. It was
Aw.
really cute. So I'm into the spirit. I love Halloween. Halloween, Christmas. Thanksgiving I could do without.
See, I'm opposite. I love Thanksgiving.
I also don't eat the food. So
Oh, well, that's true. I don't
other
know.
people.
I don't know. I always love Thanksgiving though. I think because I always grew up going to the Macy's parade.
I never went.
We should go one year together. You should come with me.
Let's go this year. Yeah.
Maybe we could. Okay, we gotta talk about that more offline.
I
But
would like to.
it's definitely like an experience you have to do at least once in your life. But I used to go like almost every year, like from middle school, high school on.
The only thing
I
is,
haven't gone the last couple of years, but it was
yeah,
one of my favorite things to do.
I would definitely love to. How do you go to the bathroom though?
Oh, you don't?
Yeah. So I
I
can't
mean
drink
there
anything.
I mean there are bathrooms, there's porta potties, but I ain't using those.
Yeah, I know. That's my issue with my pee pee problem. I have to pee every 10 seconds.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hold it in. But you should see me when I go to the parade. I wear like 3 layers on my
Yeah,
legs.
it's
I wear
cold.
sweatshirt, long sleeve jacket. But sometimes like it matters the year. Like I was there a few years ago. This was the last time I went to the parade when it was like the coldest Thanksgiving in recorded history, like negative 30 degrees. Don't ask
Yeah.
me why, but I insisted on going. And but I've also been there other years where I'm literally just in a light sweatshirt and I'm fine.
That's so weird.
It changes. I've been there
I
in the
feel like,
rain.
geez, yeah, I don't know.
I
I would love
love
to
the
go though. I
parade.
think it would be fun.
hmm
And
My
then all
goal
the
is,
Broadway shows. I wonder which
yeah,
ones.
yeah, but the thing is, you don't, so like, you have to buy a ticket to sit
Oh,
where the Broadway shows perform. So,
oh,
like, if you're
I
just
didn't.
like in the parade route, you won't see the
Yeah.
Broadway shows.
Sorry, I keep sneezing.
It's okay, bless you. Allergy season. Oh, bless you again.
Thanks. It's always the first thing in the morning. I sneeze like a million times and then it goes away. So sorry.
It's okay. I always sneeze when I see the sun.
We're slowly falling apart. Yeah,
Yeah.
so definitely that's. I always wondered how people got to sit there. So you have to pay.
You
I
have to
thought it was just
pay.
like first come, first serve.
No, no, no. You have to pay. But also, to be honest, I think in that area in particular, it's a lot of like family and friends of
Yeah,
like people who are higher up at Macy's and stuff like that.
that makes sense.
Um, but I mean, there are seatings like that all throughout the parade route, but you have to pay. But then on the other side of the street, you can just walk up and
I
watch.
just watch. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. We'll have to discuss that.
Yeah,
Um,
it literally is like some of my favorite memories I have from my childhood
Yeah.
was going to the parade. I saw Big Time Rush there. I saw Miley Cyrus, Miranda Cosgrove, Jimmy
Oh,
Fallon. Like I have to show you my pictures. I have
my
to show you
favorite
everything.
my favorite thing is at the end when Santa comes. That's my favorite memory. When we're all
Really?
like, yes, Santa. That's my favorite.
Good. Let me put up my Christmas decorations.
Oh, last year I had it up like November 12th. I
Oh
looked.
my God.
I love
Really?
it. Yeah,
Are you
because
gonna
I
do this?
deck out.
Are you gonna do it again this year?
I'm gonna try, but because I do like lights all around my apartment,
hmm
so it takes a while.
Yeah, and I remember last year you also had that Christmas tree. It was really pretty.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. So yeah, back to it. Let's talk about Broadway news. You ready?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. You start.
All right, so Lin-Manuel Miranda put out a new album, and it's based on the Warriors film, which I thought was interesting. I was
Hmm.
blindsided by it. I had no idea it was coming out. I felt
Did
like a bad
any
Broadway fan.
did anyone know it was coming out? Like, was it
I don't know.
advertised?
I don't think so, because like when I looked yesterday morning, I was like, wait, what the? I was like, wait a second. What?
Mhm. I'm gonna admit, I feel like a bad Broadway fan. I haven't listened to it yet. I just have, I mean, it literally was yesterday that it came out, and I was
Yeah,
busy all day, so I haven't had a chance. But people are saying it's genius.
yeah. It's definitely it's interesting. I've listened to it. Um
hmm
so it's well, I guess let's talk about it a little bit further. So it's based on a screenplay that was adapted, a screenplay by I'm terrible at names.
Shaver?
There you go. And Walter Hill. And it's about like a gang traveling from the Bronx to their home in Coney Island after being framed for murder.
Dun
So I
dun
mean, that's
dun.
interesting.
It sounds like a cool idea. I don't know if it's true because I didn't listen to the album, but I did see someone make a video on TikTok where they were talking about it and like the creative process behind it. And they said that the difference between the album and the film is that it's supposed to be that the gang is all women.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know if that's what they actually did because, like I said, I haven't listened to it yet. But it's an interesting take. Like, what would a female gang be like versus a male gang? And I
Yeah,
wonder
I'm
why they
kind
made
of
that switch.
I think Lynn is very I mean he did it for Hamilton. Look at Hamilton. There's always a spin to things. And I think that's what's really cool about him is
hmm
he takes things and kind of spins it. Um I'm excited to like my only issue is like when I'm listening to something I want to see it first, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I have a hard time listening to like Broadway musicals without seeing it. So I'd love for it to be on stage.
Yeah, like I don't love the fact, in all honesty, that they released the album before it being out anywhere, like on stage.
And like, will the cast remain the same? Like, you know what I mean?
I feel like some could, but I'm sure they're gonna have changes.
Yeah. So
I don't
like,
know.
that's my only thing.
Yeah, I know. I 100% agree with you. I like it kind of ruins the surprise. I don't know. I feel like from what I heard on TikTok, it's supposed to be very similar that like to Hamilton in the sense that like if you listen to the album, you have like the whole show pretty much.
Yeah,
Um, so I feel like maybe he was trying to recreate that moment where people kind of picture what the show would be like, but at the same time, I don't know. I like the element of surprise when going into a Broadway show for the first
me
time.
too. And I think that's what like, especially like when we saw Sunset Boulevard, I knew nothing. And I told Michelle, don't
Same.
tell me anything. She read a little bit, right? You read something. Not like,
I read the
like,
synopsis like a
yeah,
very long time ago. Like I really
yeah,
didn't remember it. Like I pretty much went
yeah,
in blind. I didn't realize like half of the music that was in the show. I was like, oh, this song's here, this song's here. Like it was I really went in blindsided, just like you.
yeah. And I think that made it like 10 times more special because like we were both like, oh my God, hey, this is incredible. So that's my only issue. I definitely listen to it. It's interesting. Um, I would rather see it before re-listening to it.
Hmm.
Um, but that's
I think
just
that's
me because I
fair.
like to see it on stage before I actually like get obsessed.
Yeah. I have to make sure to listen to it this week, so next week I could talk about what I thought of it. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. And I feel like usually me and like the two of us have very similar opinions on this kind of stuff, so I feel like I'm probably gonna feel the same way.
yeah. Because I did a quick listen. Like, I'll be honest, I don't remember half the songs' names because I just played
Mhm.
it and listened. Like, I just played the album on like straight through. But
I saw
it's
people I saw people saying that it's like now their new favorite songs of all time and everything, and I'm like,
yeah,
really? I don't know. I have to give it a shot.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yep. And then what's exciting is Tammy Faye opens tonight, actually.
Yay! That's super exciting. Congrats to them. We tried. There was a lottery open to win tickets for tonight's
Yeah.
show, but we did not win.
I'm
Um,
so excited to see it.
I cannot wait. It looks so good. And shout out Tammy Faye Broadway. They reposted us on their Instagram the other day,
Yeah. That
which
was
was
really
really
cool.
cool. So yeah, we're super excited for that. Um, some other Broadway news. Um, so Roundabout Theater Company and New Victory Theater have now released a new initiative called Seats on the Spectrum. The Seats on the Spectrum initiative aims to increase accessibility for neurodivergent theater audiences. So pretty much what they're going to be doing is they in their theaters they're going to have designated seats for audience members which are who are on the autism spectrum, which I think is amazing. And I love
I
how
think it's such a
inclusive they're
great idea.
being.
Yeah, because it can be difficult for especially individuals with autism spectrum disorder. Sometimes the flashes in a show or something might trigger something. So allowing them a space so that they can stim, they can move, they can get up is so important so that they can experience theater the way that they
Yeah.
should be able to.
I'm curious. I mean, I would wonder. I feel like I want to make sure I'm forming my thought correctly. Right now, what they do is there's a lot of, you know, accessible, like specific shows. Like they'll do like this performance is for people on the spectrum, this
Yeah, it's
performance is for
actually
people
like
with disability.
sensory.
Sensory friendly show. Thank you.
There you go.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Um, I'd be curious because these seats are going to be all the time. So I'd be
Yeah.
curious to see how that would play out because, it's not going to be a sensory friendly show where sometimes, they don't use the lights, they just keep the house lights on, or
Yeah.
the music's not as loud, or maybe like they don't have the drumming in the show. Like a lot of the sensory friendly shows do make adjustments based on the audience. So I feel like these are probably going to be more for people who are a little bit more like high functioning autism because they have to be able to sit through a regular version of the show.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm curious.
I think it could be fine for anybody. I think what's important is that theater is inclusive. Theater should be inclusive, and anybody should be able to experience theater. So by allowing these seats and allowing them, more flexibility to make them more comfortable, I think it could have individuals who are, you know, it's they changed autism spectrum disorder. It's like levels now. So you have
Yeah.
level one, two, and three. It's not a spectrum anymore. That's a whole different conversation. But you have people on who are level one that might be lower functioning. Maybe they'll be able to now experience theater in these seats because now they're allowed to have their fidgets, they're allowed to get up. These seats should allow them the accessibility of getting up if they need to, or, you know, having to stim if they have a full body stim, if they have mouth stims. But it's also important that audience members are respectful of the individuals because they
Yeah.
might get loud, they might have a loud stim. So I think I'm interested to see how Roundabout Theater, if they make an announcement before the show, to, tell audience members that they need to be respectful. And I know like I've been in theaters where you have, you know, group homes come or special ed schools come in and other audience members get upset by it. And
Mhm.
that I remember because I worked at the theater. I remember fighting with other, not fighting, but having an argument with another audience member when he was complaining about individuals with
Mm.
disabilities. So I'm interested to see how they work about that and make sure that everybody understands that theater is inclusive. Theater should be
Yeah.
inclusive.
Well, it's interesting you brought that up because that's more of my bigger concern. It's not really for the people who have autism or are neurodivergent and are attending the show. My concern is more for like the people, like the everyday people, like who aren't don't have autism and they're just going to see the shows. I think they are going to make nasty comments. Like, unfortunately in today's society, some people just can't hold it in. And
Yeah,
you and me talk about it all the time that people at theater right now have like no manners.
none.
And I'm afraid it's just gonna like I am concerned it's gonna make things worse. I am sure like you are gonna have some Karens go in there
Yeah,
and they are gonna complain.
yeah,
Um that's why I mean I hope that these seats are really a safe space for the people with autism. Um, I don't know. I don't know. We have to see how it plays out. Like, I wonder, are the seats going to be in a separate part of the theater? Are they going to be like towards the back, like maybe near like the handicap seats? Like, where are
yeah.
they going to be positioned in the theater? Um,
I think
I
what's
don't know. I'm
important,
curious.
I think what's important too is like, because I've worked in special ed schools and we've gone on field trips and stuff, and we as like caretakers or parents or whatever, like especially like me, I one of my students started, getting agitated during a show, so I removed him. And we went into the lobby until he was able to calm down, and then we went back. So I think it's important that people understand that I'm sure the caregivers, parents, whoever is with the individuals, or if they're well, like they will know when enough is enough. They know their
Hmm.
kids, they know their students, they know their individuals. They know when enough is enough for them, and they will remove them if need be. I'm not
Yeah.
saying they have to, but if they start getting agitated or mad or whatever, we know when to remove. So I think that's important for all audience members to know. And I hope they make a big announcement before every show at those theaters.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what happens.
Me too.
I also wonder, are they going to change any aspects of the show? Um, to be respectful to the members on this, like who have autism as well. Like I was thinking
Yeah.
about it, like Sunset Boulevard, like there was a lot of flashing lights and like camera work and
Yeah.
everything, like any or loud noises, like the gunshot and everything like that could set someone off.
It could also start a seizure too.
Well,
So that's
yes, so
important. I think
so I don't
knowing the
know.
show too, I think as when you're finding theater, you always look up the show, make sure you know what's
Hmm.
gonna happen. Because they in Sunset Boulevard, we got a whole thing. I just got an email saying that there's flashing lights, there are loud noises and all that.
Yeah, you got to be
So
prepped.
yeah, so I'm excited to see. I think it's a great initiative.
Yeah, very
Um,
exciting.
yeah. So another exciting thing is John Cardoza.
And Celea Pfeiffer. They opened Moulin Rouge this week. They
Yeah.
had their opening nights. I saw videos of them. I mean, plan tutorial, thank you. But they were great. I thought they both sounded fantastic.
Is
Um,
Roxanne. Bye.
oh my God, the growls.
Right? Iconic. I can't. Like, I'm entering the lottery. If we win, I would love to go. If we don't, like, it's fine. But
Yeah.
he has become like a crush, like, for me.
Yeah, he's on like Skylar's top five list now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, like, I mean, I saw Mulan now like four times after we saw
Yeah.
it this last time with Aaron. Like, in all honesty, I feel like I've had my Mulan fill. I told Skylar if we won lottery, I would consider it. Um, but
Rude.
I'm sorry. I'm not rushing back to Mulan.
No, I'm still entering just the enter. Like, I would love to see him, but I'm not gonna pay full price for a ticket.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a great show, but like, we saw it just last week with Aaron. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's my favorite show of all time. Like, I mean, I've seen
Facts.
it just because of weird scenarios, like lottery wins and this and that. But like, I don't know. I just don't think it's my favorite show of all time. Like, and I think because like I've seen it now 4 times, I kind of expected all the song jokes and like, oh, people are gonna giggle here. This, that. Like, it's not fresh anymore. Like, I almost feel like they need to like mix it up a little bit and add some more songs in from like today. So I feel like now it's getting a little outdated even for its time.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
Really, I felt like some of the songs in the show really put a timestamp on when the show was created. Like one of the big songs on the show is "Shut Up and Dance," but like
Yeah, that song is still
that's
iconic.
now like 10. Yeah, it's iconic, but it's like 10 years ago now.
Yeah, but still, like, I don't know, I don't agree, but that's okay.
It's okay, we can agree to disagree. Why did I say that with
Um,
an accent?
because I feel like every wedding or like every time I go to like a bar or something, that song is coming on.
What about though, like another song that it uses is Royals.
Yeah, I still hear that song a lot.
I don't know. I just feel like that really dates it.
Yeah, I don't know, but okay. Um,
Skylar does not agree with me.
not at all, but it's okay. That's my Mulan. I like Mulan. I would like to see him, but I guess I'll find someone else.
I no, listen, I told you, if you want, I'll go with you. It's just not my favorite show. Like I've had my fill. The only thing I would want to do still, which is on my Mulan bucket list, is the can seats.
But then again, I feel like, all right, if anybody sat in Can seats, can you let us know? Because does your neck hurt after it?
Well, yeah, and like also like we were looking at last time, like half of the show takes place like behind you on like the lip of the
hmm
stage. So how do you see anything?
Yeah, like, is it worth it? I don't know. I mean, it's probably worth it for the bucket list, but
So some other really exciting Broadway news this week. Maybe Happy Ending started their Broadway previews.
thank God you said it because I would have said a very happy ending again.
I know you say it wrong every
I
time.
don't know why. In my brain, it's a very happy ending. So
I like
watch
that
the
title
vlog.
better.
Watch me like start the vlog. Come with us to a very happy ending. You're like, no, it's amazing. Literally.
I feel like that's 100% gonna happen though, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, it
Um,
will.
but people are saying that they really liked it. I'm very
Yeah.
curious to see it. And we are gonna be seeing it this week actually. Skylar won lottery tickets.
Yeah, I won. Yeah, we entered it, what, a month ago? No, a couple weeks ago. It was
No,
very
about a
early.
month. I think about a month.
Yeah, for the previews. So it's in previews now. The lottery, I think it was like what, $29 tickets? It was great.
Great deal. And where are our seats again? Are we in the mezzanine?
We're
I
in
don't
the
remember.
mezzanine, but like front mezzanine, I believe.
Hmm.
They sent the t like I paid for it and then they sent the tickets right away. I was like, dang, this is cool.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm excited. I think it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be different than a traditional musical. So I'm excited to see like a new musical and
Yeah.
not like a jukebox musical.
No, I agree. It's time for a change. We need some more original content on Broadway.
And I was seeing
Um,
pictures of Darren Criss. He looks very robotic. Like they did a good job. He looks so like his hair looks perfect and he looks so like young. Like if that
mhm.
makes sense. Um, but yeah, I guess we could talk about the video we saw of him at stage door.
Yeah, he came out and he pretty much gave like his spiel, which is, like I'm not gonna take selfies, like let's try to be orderly, be respectful of the people who are,
Yeah.
behind you. Please don't push. I'm gonna try to sign as much as I can. Like,
And he was
and
like, I want to look at everybody in your eyes, which
yeah,
I liked his speech because we went to the Mulan stage door, and I think that was the worst experience we've ever had with people pushing and
Oh my
It was
God.
so sad. I almost cried.
It was
Like I literally
worse.
almost cried.
I know. I was surprised you stuck it out as long as you did. I was ready to give up sooner than you.
Yeah.
But I like it was worse than Outsider Stage Door. It was worse than the Hadestown Stage
Yeah.
Door. Like Skylar literally had a guy behind her that was like on her.
Like
Like
his whole body was on me, which is
mm.
nasty. And I turned around and I was like, "Can you move back? Because you're like on top of me."
There
And
was
he was
another
like, and he
girl.
fought back, which was rude.
Yeah.
It
He
was
literally turned
crazy.
to her and he was like, it's not like there's a lot of room.
But then, meanwhile, 10 seconds later, there was room because he got off of me. And I had to calm myself down because I was like, I want to say so badly, like, oh, good job. You made some room.
And
Like,
there was a girl on the other side of him. I was on the right side of him, and he like she literally pushed him into me
yeah,
to
it was
try to make
crazy.
space for herself.
Hmm.
And I literally gave her like a look, and I was like, "There's no room here. Like we're
Walk
already on
down.
top of each other." And there was another girl that was behind me that every time like it got kind of got up to like my turn, right? She kept
Yeah.
pushing over me and throwing her playbills like in front of my face, and she almost hit me in the face multiple times. I was getting really annoyed
So,
with her.
yeah, and that guy put his playbill right over mine. I think
Yeah,
what's important to know is like, let's say you don't get the first row and you are behind. Be respectful in the fact that the people at the front should get their signature first from the cast member, and then you could do it. And like, let's work together. Like, I'm okay with working with you, but if you throw your playbill over mine so that they sign yours and not mine, then we have a problem. Like, that's not
yeah.
nice.
And that's actually what happened. That Skylar was
Yeah,
holding both of our playbills, and we
I
ended
almost
up not
cried.
getting a signature from it was the Duke.
Yeah.
Because this
And
guy like
because
literally covered the playbill
yeah,
completely.
and I don't like I like to be cool. I don't like to yell at them and be like, you need to do this. So when he just continued, I let it go. But I swear to God, I looked up at the sky because I was like, I feel like I'm gonna cry. I was like, I don't know if I'm being dramatic, but like I was so upset in the fact that this guy is not only like standing on top of me and pushing me, but now he was so disrespectful. I was like, oh my God.
He kept pushing you like forward and he kept pushing me to the side to the point where the whole time we were standing there. So like me and Skylar were kind of almost like catty-cornered to each other. Like I told
Yeah,
her to be in the front in case Aaron came out and I was gonna film it. And my
yeah.
body was so twisted. Like I was actually sideways twisted for like 40 minutes, I would say, to the
It was
point where my
sickening.
back has been hurting for days since.
It's just like if you're gonna stage door, let's remember like they're humans, but also like the people around you are humans too. Like I've never experienced something so upsetting.
Yeah.
So that's so everybody listen to Darren Chris. Yeah, that's my spiel about the stage door in Milan. That was sad.
It was actually scary. And also what really bothered me is honestly, I don't, I think security did a poor job. And I'll explain
Oh,
why. They set up the barricades to be really
yep.
far. But right now around the Mulan stage door, there are a lot of scaffoldings up.
Yeah.
So people were being pushed like into the scaffolding, into the street, and truthfully, the cast members did not need as large of a gap as they left open for them.
Yep.
So, like knowing that if a person backs up anymore, like if I backed up even another inch, my head would have hit scaffoldings.
Yeah.
They should have moved the gates up a little bit just to make even a little more standing room for people. And
It was a
also
whole
they were like laughing at people a bit, I think, because
yeah.
like people were waiting around to see if Aaron would come out and like they must have known from the beginning that he wasn't gonna
Oh,
come out.
100%. And I wish they just said something. Like, why are we? That's what I don't get. Like, honestly, love JoJo. Would I have stayed for JoJo? No.
No,
Um, if they just told us, then like we
we
would
would
have
have
gone
left.
home. Yeah. So that was upsetting. But I don't know. Just remember if you're gonna
Yeah.
stage door, please do the right thing.
Yeah. We almost didn't even get JoJo's autograph because of that same guy.
Yeah, because he has a book.
We only got her on one of the playbills. And then I said, turn to Skylar. I was like, quickly, I was like, give it to me. And I was able to get it from the other side of the person that was in front of me.
Oh,
We were
did
able
he
to
put
get
it over
JoJo.
again? Because I was holding.
Yeah, I think that was why JoJo only signed
Yeah,
one of the two, is because the other one was being blocked. So I quickly grabbed it, remember? And I was like, I brought it to the
yeah.
other side.
It's very disheartening.
I was like,
I
if
was
we
sad.
waited this long, we're at least getting both of our playbills signed by her.
Yeah. Um, okay, something exciting that I know we both really want to go to is Hugh Jackman is gonna have a concert series at Radio City Music Hall. I want
I
to go
want to
so
go
bad.
so bad.
So we
I
gotta
want
figure
to,
it
we got to talk about it. I am actually also tempted for us to bring my mom with us.
out.
She has such a crush on him
Oh, really?
for years now.
I'm dead.
Same
I'm
way. So
excited.
Skylar and I have been talking about also bringing her mom to Outsiders. So
Yeah, we gotta do that.
we gotta have like a whole mom day.
But like, I'm also like gonna be so embarrassed if we stage door with her. Because she's gonna make me feel like I'm like 10 years old. She'll be like, Skylar, pose. Like, she's gonna, you know what I mean?
She's gonna want photos with you in them. If
Yeah.
Brody comes out, she's gonna be
Oh my
like,
God.
"Oh, she loves you."
Yeah, she won't. Yeah, she can't control herself. Like the last time we went, we saw a show by me. We saw Rock of Ages.
hmm
It wasn't Broadway. And she was like, Skylar, like, let's wait for the lead guy. He's such your type. She's like, let's stand here. I was like, Mom, this is Long Island Theater. Like, I'm not standing on the street waiting for like, what the heck? Yeah. So she'll be interesting. She'll probably say something to them, and I'll be like, I swear to God, I'm not 15 years old. Like, I don't need her here. She's not my chaperone.
Okay, I'm gonna tell a quick story. And I told this story to Skylar, but I feel like I have to
Mm,
say it on the podcast. I
yes.
will never forget when I stage doored Godspell.
Oh,
So
God.
I had such a crush on Hunter Parrish, and I still do. Hunter Parrish, if you're listening, I still do. Okay? And
Where is that man?
he doesn't do a lot nowadays. I haven't seen him in a
Mm.
while. But anyway, I had such a crush on him. I was so excited to meet him at the stage door. And I went with my mom and my aunts. And I'll never forget being at the stage door. And I was like, I want to look cool in front of him and all this. And then my mom goes on a rant about how she loved him in like some of his movies and how he's such a good actor. He can cry on cue. And like she went on like a long rant. And he turns to me afterwards and he goes, Do you know this woman? And I was like, Yes, that's my
It's my
mom.
mom. I'm so dead.
Chance is gone.
Yeah, all gone.
All
Oh my
gone.
God. That's so funny.
I'll never forget that moment. I was just like, in my head, I was like, oh my God, he's talking to me. But at the same time, I was like, oh.
Oh no. Yeah, that would probably be my mom at the Outsiders. But she does have like a deep appreciation for it, so I feel like she'll like you know how I ramble? I feel like that's how
Mhm.
me and her are like. Like we just talk,
I really want to
especially when we're
witness
nervous.
your mom at Outsiders stage door.
She would, oh my God. And
I,
she'll
I,
probably fight somebody though. If she gets pushed, ooh, the sass.
I feel like she would make sure we have room to breathe.
Oh, 100%. She would be extreme mama bear.
Oh my God. I feel like we have to go with her.
It would be so funny. She would be unwell. She'd probably be sobbing during it like she was for Les Mis.
hmm
But so yeah, I'm excited. I want to go to it. I've never seen Hugh Jackman live.
I mean, neither. I really want to see it.
Yeah,
We got to talk about tickets.
definitely. And then on like a random side note, I started to read the Wicked book because I was curious. I'm about 130 pages in. It's definitely not fluffy, pretty, wicked. Um,
Oh, it's very different. I started reading it years ago and I just like I expected fluffy Wicked and I was reading it. I was like, what is this? And I just stopped. And I definitely have to restart because I want to try to read it before the movie comes out.
I think on like a controversial note is I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I think it's really interesting. Although it's like weird and like twisted, I'm like enjoying the characterizations, the backstory, and like all of like even getting to know like Alphaba's mom. Like there's a lot about her mom, and so like I'm actually enjoying it. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know. Probably in about like a week I'll finish it. I have a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah. I'm curious though, like I hope kids don't start reading it. Like
No,
I
no,
don't know
no. They
why.
cannot.
Okay, but like that I keep seeing TikToks about this because they changed the cover to be,
Yeah, no, no,
like
no.
Ariana Grande and Cynthia
Yeah.
Erivo, and it's like they're literally putting the book in the kids section. And I'm like,
No, no,
this
no.
is not a kid's book. There is a chapter where they describe Elphaba's privates. Like this is not for children.
But also like in the beginning, like I guess I don't want to spoil it, but they talk about sex a lot and they say
Mm-hmm.
like the F word was in there. Um they called somebody a whore. Like there's a lot. I've been annotating it too, so that when we talk
Mm-hmm.
about it, to pull out some quotes.
Mm-hmm.
Um it's definitely not a kid's book at all. Like not even a little bit. So,
Yeah. Don't buy it for
um
your children. Don't buy it for
do
your nieces
not.
and nephews.
Nope, don't do it. But I've actually, which is weird, I've been enjoying it. And I texted you that the other day. I was like, I'm actually kind of enjoying it.
It's a good book. There's a reason they turned it into a musical. It's not for children.
Yeah, and it's definitely not like the musical at all. So I'll let you guys
Mhm.
know, probably in about a week I'll finish it, depending on if we see shows this week or if we don't. If I'm home, I'll be reading.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll update my final critique.
So I think it is game time. Episode 10, game time.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
why did I say it like that? I went, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So like we said earlier, we're not going to review a show this week. We want to just have fun. It is episode 10, which is crazy. So we're each going to talk about what are our top five musicals of all time, and then we're going to talk about what are our top five hyperfixation favorite songs from a musical of all time.
Yeah, so it's very exciting. And then again, as we see new shows, we'll see if it knocks out some, but I don't know.
And I don't know, I feel like it's hard to knock out your favorites. Like it has to
Well,
be
yeah.
worthy of knocking it out.
Yeah, definitely. Um
I've definitely had some favorites over the years that have been knocked out.
yeah, I would agree. But also like there's some musicals that I listen to that I've never actually seen. Like I've seen Slime tutorials, but not like
Mm,
in person, if that makes sense.
interesting. So you have songs on your hyperfixation song list that you haven't seen the musical of?
No, I didn't. Well,
I have some.
yeah. I actually I only saw a slime tutorial.
I think that's
Might
fine.
be
I think it's
might be.
fair. No,
So do you want to
I
start?
have multiple on my list that I have not seen, so it's fine.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so do you want to start with the top five
Okay,
musicals
so
of
top five
all time?
musicals. Drum roll.
I know I'm clapping if you can hear it.
Okay. Do you want to go five, four, three, two, one, or one, two, three, four, five?
Five, four, three, two, one.
Okay.
Blast off. Sorry.
Number five favorite musical of all time currently is a new option that has recently been added to the list. And I'm excited because we're seeing this option again.
I'm
It
dead.
is Sunset Boulevard.
Makes sense.
It, like, I'm so excited to see it again. It was so good. I have not had a show take my breath away in a
Right?
very long time.
I left when we left, I went, wow. I was like, Michelle, wow. And she's like, wow. I was like, yeah, wow. We just kept saying
Yeah.
wow.
I almost feel like I should have put this in my number three spot and switched it with my number three choice, but no, I think five is okay. I think after tonight it's going to move up. I'm going to be honest. I think
Oh
by next week
yeah.
it'll be different. Um, but
Amazing.
the show is so especially this version of the show is just so genius.
Right?
The 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 directing is so smart with the choices that they had the characters make acting wise.
Yep.
The storyline is extremely moving, and
Right?
like there are so many twists and turns that you would not expect in the story of Sunset Boulevard. The music is top tier.
Right? I can't wait for the
Top tier.
album. We're gonna be
Andrew
obsessed.
obsessed. Andrew Lloyd's Webber's compositions are just so gorgeous. Like these were just so
Chills.
beautifully written. Like I don't want to sound horrible, but you would not think this is the same person that wrote Bad Cinderella.
Right? And also what's cool is the camera. There's not a lot of props on the stage, but it's never not boring, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. Like there's literally it's such a minimal set. There's like no set pieces at all.
yeah. You don't need sets.
You don't even notice. Like
You don't need costumes. Like
amazing,
I was picturing what the costumes would be like in my head.
right?
Like I turned to Skylar and I was like, Skylar, I don't think I really have a single complaint about the show. Like
Right? Well, I think
it,
we should talk about it next week. Like,
yes.
yeah,
So we'll get into it more, but like that
amazing.
show, it's it was outstanding. Like I feel like I could see it 10 times and never get bored.
Right? Amazing.
And I I loved it. I'll end it at that. But ugh, I love it. Number four is a choice that you're not going to expect from me because I don't know if we've ever really talked about it. But number four is Tarzan.
I never saw that.
Okay, I think Tarzan is a very underrated and underappreciated Disney Broadway musical. I saw it when I was in fifth grade.
Mhm.
And, you know, it wasn't my first Broadway show, but you know, when you have that moment of like, wow, this show just made me fall in love with
With
theater.
Broadway. Oh, I love
That was
that.
that show for me. And I'll never forget my whole family went and we sat front row behind the conductor. And it was just such a
Oh,
magical moment because he turned to us during intermission and he was like, when Act Two starts, look behind your right shoulder. And we were like,
yeah.
okay. And then we do that, and boom, in comes Turk and Tarzan just flying over the audience on a vine.
Holy, that's scary, but cool.
It was the sickest thing I have ever seen.
Oh, that's
And
so cool.
the direction was just so well done with the gorillas. Like you did not believe these were humans. Like
Yeah,
it was so believable with the costumes. They all like swinging on vines throughout the stage, throughout the audience. Like it was such an immersive
yeah,
experience, and I almost feel like it was before its time. Like I feel like when it was out, like people didn't appreciate it enough, which is why it didn't last too long.
yeah.
But also, all of the music was beautifully written. There were some even new songs added into the show that are some of my favorite Broadway songs of all time till
Oh,
today.
wow.
If I could find a slime tutorial, Skylar, I'm gonna
Yeah, I'll
send it to
definitely watch
you.
it. Yeah,
I like that. I don't know, that musical just means a lot to me, and it really
love
was like
that.
the first musical where I was like, I want to download it on my iPod at the time or
Yeah,
whatever I had, and I just want to listen to the CD on repeat. Like
yeah.
it was just. I loved it. Like it, I don't know.
10 out of
That
10.
musical makes me happy. It was a 10 out of 10, and
Yeah,
I really think I wish Disney would revive it because I really think it
yeah.
wasn't appreciated in its time, and I think it's time for it to come back. But it was just like it was even so cool. Like you know, in the beginning of the Tarzan story, when it's what happens is his parents like crash land on this like tropical island because their boat
Okay,
crashes. The way that they did it in the Broadway show was they set up a projection of a beach, like a tropical beach,
okay.
and the parents walked down the wall, like, like, imagine like they were completely horizontal,
Yeah.
walking down from the top of the stage all the way to the bottom, walking along the back wall of the projection,
Oh my
like just
gosh.
hanging by like a line, like an invisible line.
Jesus.
Like it was just some of them. It was amazing. So to say the least. So well, I
That's
gotta show you
cool.
some pictures and videos from it.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, I also, I'll be honest, at the time I had a crush on young Tarzan, but that's a different story. Number three, I put The Outsiders, which is
Makes sense.
also a newer choice on my list. I was thinking if I put it higher, but I don't know if it's if my top two musicals if it's really outright them yet.
Yeah.
Um, I just find the story to be so moving. I love the music. I think it's a show that I could see over and over again and never get bored.
Yeah.
And there's just again, there's so much creative genius. Like that Rumble scene, the way it's choreographed is stunning.
Mhm.
Um, I just think it's a very special musical, and I feel bad because I feel like a lot of the hype of the musical is because of the guys, are hot
Yeah.
in the cast, and I feel like people don't appreciate it for what piece of artwork it really is.
Yeah.
And I hate that it's become about like fangirls instead of how incredible the story is and how everyone really can find at least a character to relate to in the story. And like, I don't know, I just think it deserves more credit than just being the musical with all the hot guys.
Yeah, it's definitely really sad.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know, it breaks my heart. Like, I just feel like it deserves more. I mean, I know like I'm sure they don't mind it. They're getting all this hype and everything. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like both of us, you and me, we both love it because of the story and how like it's just very special. And I just feel like it gets lost.
Yeah, it definitely gets lost in the mix of things, which is upsetting.
Yeah. Um, Number two of all time is Hairspray.
Makes sense.
I was wondering, do I put Hairspray at two? But I think it's a show like on my list that I'll never be able to knock out of that
Yeah,
position.
no, definitely.
I rewatched the movie version of it recently, and I just like it just reminded me why I fell in love with it in the first place. I love the songs. Like there's not a single song in that show that I don't like. I love the story. I think it's very moving and I still think it's very current for today.
Yeah.
Um I don't know. Tracy Turnblad has always been my dream role and I got very close a couple times to playing Tracy. I actually like this is just a fun story to tell, but when they would do it NBC Live was doing the production of Hairspray. I actually did audition for it. I went to the open call and I was in the top 50 girls to play Tracy. So I did get close.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just always a story that's like very near and dear to my heart. And then number one shouldn't come shocking because we've talked about it on the podcast before, but it's Newsies.
Oh, okay. Why'd that shock me? I was like, wait, what is she gonna say?
What did you think I was gonna
I have
say?
no idea. My brain went blank for like 10 seconds.
So Newsies really, I mean, like Tarzan was the first show I really fell in love with, but Newsies was the first show that I was like obsessed with.
Yeah.
Um, it's just the story, again, the storyline is so moving to me. I saw it 5 times. It was on Broadway. I love the choreography. It's just like it it took my breath away. It's similar to Sunset Boulevard. It was a show that took my breath away the first time I saw it. Again, there's not a single song in the show I don't like. Of course, I had crushes on some of the guys in the show who didn't at that
Yeah,
time.
that makes sense.
That's when I fell in love with Mike Feist. But besides that, um, I don't know. It's a show that's very near and dear to my heart, and I feel like some of my favorite Broadway memories of all time was going to see Newsies, like when I would go to
Yeah.
see the show. So I think it'll always be my number one
How long was it on
musical.
Broadway for? A while?
I think it, how long was it? It opened in 2012.
Okay.
Let me double check. I think it was like 3 or 4 years.
That's it?
It wasn't, yeah, no, actually 2 years. It closed in 2014. That
Dang.
show, when they announced that it was closing, I cried.
Yeah, that
That
makes
was
no
the
sense.
that was like the first and only Broadway show that I actually got really emotional when they announced the closing. It just, I don't know, the show really just means a lot to me. It's my child. Like that's my childhood right there. Like that was me throughout all of
Yeah.
high school.
Dang.
Um,
For some reason, I thought it was way longer on Broadway.
yeah.
It deserved a longer run.
I wish they would revive it. That's another show that's like on my
They
list of
really
please
should. It would
revive.
sell out like
It
quick.
would.
Because I
I
feel like a lot of people like recently are obsessed.
mhm. People still love it. People still
Yeah.
love it. And I think it would do really well. I think if Disney was smart, they would take the Outsiders hype and reopen Newsies because I think
Oh
that same
yeah.
fan base that's now discovering Outsiders because of the guys, they'll fall in love with Newsies for the same reason.
Yeah.
Um, could you imagine like some of the guys from Outsiders as the Newsies? Like imagine like
Would die.
Jason Schmidt as Jack Kelly, which I know
Would
he's
die.
said before is like one of his dream roles.
Yeah. That would be so good. That would
He
be
would
so
he
good.
would kill it.
Brody as Crutchy would be good.
Hmm.
Uh,
Like I feel like they have the right
yeah.
generation now of like the next group of like really big Broadway performers I think will become bigger later on,
Yeah.
especially. I feel like they have the right generation now where they can put a show like this back on Broadway and it would do really well.
They really should. We'll see. Hopefully.
Uh,
Hopefully.
hopefully in my dreams.
That would be great.
Meanwhile, I'll just keep enjoying the pro shot.
I know. At least we have that. But
Yeah.
because
Well,
I didn't get to
also,
see it.
I wish you did. We also have some slime tutorials, but
Yeah.
this my favorite slime tutorials. The one little 1 minute clip of Mike Feist as Jack Kelly singing Santa Fe.
There's a whole, you don't have the whole, I listened to the whole Santa Fe of him singing it.
No, I have the whole one. I actually
Oh,
have it
okay.
downloaded on my phone. But I like that, like that. Like there's like a zoomed in like 1 minute clip of it.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So that was a good top five.
Thank you. I worked really hard on it. I was really thinking through this. Like there were so many other shows I could have put on this. Like I was thinking, do I put Beauty and the Beast? Do I put something rotten? Like I have so many
Yeah.
shows that I really love, but I think this is my top five as of today.
Yeah, makes sense. Um, okay, so let's go to my top five.
Yes, I can't wait to hear it.
So as you were talking about Tarzan, I was like, I have a similar show on my list as five. It's actually Annie.
Oh.
So growing up, I watched the black and white version of Annie a lot at my with my mom. That was a really weird way of putting it. But she would put it on for me and I fell in love with it. And then actually when I did dance, we did The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow as our ballet
Hmm.
song. So I was like 5 years old or something doing it. And then I got to see it when they did the revival on Broadway. And it's just a show that's nostalgic for me. It's something like I hold in my heart, like all the songs, all the music. My grandpa still talks about that, seeing me doing that ballet dance. So it's just like always gonna be up there on the list. Love Annie,
Hmm.
iconic. Um, but yeah, it was really cool to see the revival because I loved it as a kid, and then actually getting to see it live, I was like, oh, I love this show.
Did you see it with Jane Lynch? That's the version I saw.
No, I didn't see Jane Lynch. I saw somebody else. I don't remember. But I think I would have remembered if I saw Jane Lynch.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I love Annie. It's never not iconic. So that's why it's number five, because it's just nostalgic for me.
Hmm.
Um, so then number four, I put Sunset Boulevard, which makes
Oh.
sense. I fell in love with it, like you were saying. Um, I was shocked at how much I liked it. I was like, I knew I was gonna like it, but I was a little worried at the same time. But I left there like, whoa, like that was unreal. Like
Yeah.
again, like you talked about it, so I'm not gonna really talk about it because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But like the camera work and the use of the camera, the opening number got me. Um, Even like the ensemble when they would harmonize together, I was like, whoa, this is like insane.
The whole show was just so smart. Like, that's the
Yeah.
only way I could put it. I'm so excited that we are going again. Like, I don't think I can form words to say it.
Yeah, I definitely like left there like, oh my God. Like this is gonna be something I'm gonna be playing nonstop, but also like I can't stop thinking about it
Hmm.
and thinking about the subtle things they did and like thinking about the character of Norma and how complex she is and just like how Nicole took the character and you saw that she was like manic and how she was manipulative and that it was just insane to me. So that was number four for me.
Great
Um,
choice.
which is it was hard to pick because there's so many great shows that we've seen, but that one just got me. So that's four. Number three, I put Hades Town, which
I
is
had a
not shocking.
feeling. I had a
Yeah.
feeling.
We talked about Hades Town last week, and I really like fell in love with this show for all that it is, between like taking a Greek mythology and, you know, portraying it as a musical, but like finding ways to include epics, to include the beautiful story, but also the tragedy of it and how they, went about it, the stage, the set design, everything. Like Hades Town became something that like again, I can't stop listening to, I can't stop thinking about. Um I when people ask me what shows they should go see, I always say go to Hades Town. So that's kind of like it's become one of my favorites. Again, like just the story and the story of not only Eurydice and Orpheus, but Persephone and Hades. Fell in love with it, fell in love with the music. They did such a great job. And it's really cool to see Greek mythology being portrayed as a
Do
musical.
you do you think it's a show you want to see again once there's a new cast in it?
I think I would definitely. I would.
Interesting. You
It's a
want to
show
like
I could see.
I know you specifically love like Jordan's take on Orpheus.
I would like to see other people definitely because I mean, again, I saw Jordan Fisher three times, but I don't know. I just fell in love with the story. Like, yeah, he's great. Like, he definitely made Orpheus Orpheus. But when I'm like listening to Cass Evans Reeve, um, but I just fell in love with the story and just the way they did things. So I would be curious to see whoever takes over for Jordan Fisher. I just love the fact that it's a Greek mythology too. I think that's
Hmm.
so cool. And I wish more people like appreciated it.
Yeah.
But so that's my Hades Town. Listen to the podcast last week. I went on a whole long spiel. I could talk about Hades Town forever. Um, and then number two is actually Outsiders. Again, I before it was a musical, my family Outsiders runs deep within my family personally. My mom was obsessed with the book growing up, and she told me that her and her friends had a countdown for when the movie was coming out because they loved it that much. So when I was younger, I actually read the book before I had to for school because my mom loved it that much.
Wow.
So, and then I read it again, and then I read it again. So I've read it like three times now in my life. Um, I love the story. I think it's a very important story that sometimes people forget to really, dive deep into. Um, it's about, not only about family, but it's about love, it's about loss. It's about, it encompasses so much that people don't realize. So I fell in love with the story, and then when it became a musical, I was very excited to see it. And they did such a great job in capturing not only the book, the movie, and the characters. I
Hmm.
feel like they didn't really stray that far from the book, which is important to me personally. Um, the characters came to life instead of like
Yeah.
sometimes when you see a musical based on a book, the characters kind of are different.
Hmm.
But to me, when I was reading it, that's what I pictured as Pony Boy.
Yeah.
The even like Dari, the way Brent acts certain things out, like they did such a great job in capturing the love between the brothers, but also how they're all individuals and how different they are from each other.
Yeah. I think
Um,
I 100% agree with you. I think the biggest difference between the book and the musical is really just the way Dally dies.
that and Johnny's family.
Yeah.
So I always say go back and read the book. There really, I mean, there is different little different things, but go back and read the book because even after rereading it again, I saw certain things like the certain way their character costumes are and why it's important based on the book. So I really like fell in love with it. Um, Again, it runs deep in my family. So that's why it's kind of really important to me.
Yeah.
Um, so they did a great job in that. And then my number one will always be Les Mis. I saw it like 5 times on Broadway, I think. I watched the movie a million times. Um, in high school, my senior year concert, I was in band. The band director had us play Les Mis, like, what was it called when they mix all things together? Like every song. What was that called?
A
Where there's a
medley?
bunch of medley. Thank you. And my brain went. So he did that because I kept asking him if we could do it. And he said, well, maybe senior year. And then senior year came and we did it for the spring concert. Les Mis is just one of my favorites. The complexity of human life, of human suffering, and um, how people can be so manipulative and it leads to the downfall of somebody else without even realizing what they're doing because of greed, because of money. Seeing the love you can have for somebody who maybe you didn't birth a child or it's not really your child, but the love you can have for somebody and how important that is. Um, I don't know. I love Les Mis. I think it's a great story. It's sad. I mean, it's the French Revolution. It's all that, but I just think it's important for everyone to watch. I like more depressing things, I guess. I like to think
Yeah.
about, but I also like to sit and think about things and really dive deep into it. So that's why I like Les Mis again, like the suffering, the how one thing could be you view it this way, but now this person's suffering because you wanted this when it could have been avoided.
Mhm.
Um,
And you know what's always so interesting, and I know we've talked about it on the podcast before, is just like, different, I feel like everyone always has to remember that like everyone has their own opinions on shows. And that's really what Broadway is. It's like you want to form your own opinion so you can discuss and learn and grow from each other. Like me and Skylar talk about it all the time. I know we've spoken about it here before that her favorite show of all time is Les Mis, which is one of my least favorite shows of all time. And it shows how opposite we are in our taste. I mean, even just between like my top choice being Newsies, your top being Les Mis. We like different types of shows, which is totally fine.
yeah,
But I think it's also beautiful that we like different types of shows because then we're able to like compare and contrast and kind of like learn from each other. Like, I definitely feel like I would want to watch Les Mis again, like the movie, but I want to watch it like together. So maybe like I can understand like the like the beauty that you see in it. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
I think also like when I tell you, it was like my ringtone. Like, Do You Hear the People Sing was my ringtone for years.
Hmm.
Um, I had, I actually had a flag in my old room that was like Aaron Tveit and the all the men at the wall when they're singing.
Hmm.
Um, but I also it runs deep in the fact like Ebony, like in the fact that she loved Marius so much and he had no idea until she was about to die. And like
Hmm.
that you can like even as a friend, the love the bond between a friend and like the importance of realizing who's around you and not forgetting like oh she was here for me for everything and now I'm
Hmm.
gonna lose her. And then the love between Cosette and Marius and I don't know, I absolutely love it. I still think about it. I still listen to it. Um, I like musicals that kind of make me go home and like Hades Town makes me think Outsiders too, and Les Mis. I like to go home and dive deep into things and relate it back, and I think that's what
Mm,
I did with Les Mis over the years. And I saw it so many times on Broadway, and that I staged like you with Newsies. I have pictures of me with all the different Jean Valjeans,
yeah.
um, and all the different Mariuses. Um, so that show, I'm shocked I don't have a tattoo of it, but
Mm.
I have rent.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting. You like to go home and like dive deep after a show. I like going home. Like I like the feeling of leaving a show very like inspired and like I want to do more and like a show that makes me want to go home and just listen to the album over and over and over again. Like that's how I judge a show. Like if I leave singing like the music from the show like or humming a tune, like I know that show is gonna like move up on the list for me. Like
Yeah,
I don't like a show that makes me leave sad. Like those shows are always at the bottom of my list. Like that's the same reason I don't like falsettos. Like that show like ruined me when I was leaving and I was like never again. So it's interesting, but it's like also it's important like I guess for the listeners to always remember, like you also all like everyone out there, you all have your own lists too, and we would like, love to hear it. And I think it's interesting to see how lists differ so much. And I think there's beauty in it that like I feel like your top five list look teaches you so much about the person
yeah,
and the way that
definitely.
their brain processes things. And I think that's like one of the beautiful sides of theater is that there is something that every single person can fall in love with. No matter what type of person you are, no matter what types of shows or music you like, there really is something out there for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so yeah, I always thought about reading the Les Mis book, but I think it's like 1,000 pages, and
Oh,
like
wow.
it's on my list of like books. I'm a big reader, as you see. I'm reading the Wicked one, but I don't know. That's a long commitment. A thousand.
It's a big book. Are there differences between the Les Mis book and the musical? I'm sure there are.
There probably is, but I don't know. I'm interested, but again, like I don't know if I can commit that much time. But
I
that's my list. I think
think
it's
it's a
very
great
fair.
list.
Yeah, I think it's
Very
very
fair.
true.
The one
Tried and
that threw
true.
me for the loop was Annie. I didn't know that about Annie. So that was like really great to learn.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely like I just remember like I even remember the dance the song coming out too. Like my grandpa would just keep talking about it because he thought it was like the cutest thing ever. So then I fell in love with it. I mean, I watched the movie like a million times.
You
Like
Yeah, it's
I think
interesting
that's what started me.
it's interesting you mentioned putting on like the black and white movie because that reminded me another one that I feel like I don't know if it'd be in my top five list, but I think it would be like an honorary choice, like maybe a little lower down, would be Peter Pan. Like I used to do the same thing. My mom
Yeah.
always played, I believe it was the Kathy Rigby taped version of it growing up, and I would just watch it on repeat. And that also really made me fall in love with musicals.
Yeah,
Like
like
the
when I think back, I think that was my first intro to musicals was
mhm.
Annie.
Annie's a classic. It always will be.
That's so good. It's so good. That and then I saw Beauty. The Beauty and the Beast was my first Broadway show when I was younger.
I almost put Beauty on the Beast on my
Yeah,
list.
I thought about it,
I said
but
to Skylar before we started recording, I was like, on my list, can I have a show split a spot? And she was like, no, let's do one for each. So originally on my list, I had in my number four spot Tarzan slash Beauty and the Beast.
yeah. Yeah, that was my first ever show, which is cool. I don't remember much. I think I was in like first or second grade at least.
Yeah.
I only remember when he was turning into a human, the beast. That's like
It,
the only
it,
thing that's in my head.
it was crafted so well. I saw it right before it closed, and my belle was Annalise Vanderpool from That's So Raven, and I was like, her voice was just like stunning.
Yeah.
But like that show, like again, it was also a show that made me like fall really deep in love with theater. But Beauty and the Beast is also my favorite Broadway, my favorite Disney movie. So it's always had a
Yeah.
special place in my heart. So I guess we should move on to these hyperfixation songs. Um, so these are pretty much just like our top five songs from a musical of all time. We're probably not going to go as in depth about them, but just to kind of like give you guys some more ideas of, songs to maybe look up and listen to that we love. So Skylar, you go first this time.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start at five. My number five is Music in the Mirror from A Chorus Line.
So good.
I
Such a good
love that song.
choice.
I will randomly play it. I love A Chorus Line. I actually just recently got to see it. Um, almost, yeah, a couple months ago. The Theater by Me did it, and they did such a great job. I've always listened to it, but I've never seen it live. When I saw it
Mhm.
live, I was like, oh my God. Um, so definitely iconic. Number four, you'll never guess. But of all, because we were talking about of all time, so like our top from not just like our hyperfixation from every week, but of all time, um, is "I'm Here" from The Color Purple.
I love that song. Such a good choice.
Right? I never saw it. I've seen slime tutorials, unfortunately. Sorry, not sorry. Um, Cynthia Erivo. I said that so bad. Why did I say that so weird? Sorry. When she sang that, holy moly. But I also like the Fantasia version. Um, it is so good. Again, it just shows like the character and that she's not gonna give up. Like she's here. Um, so yeah.
Gorgeous
Um,
song.
love
The,
it.
the 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 meaning behind the song is just so stunning. That I should have put that on my list. That was a good choice.
Right? I think a lot of the songs I pick, there's always like an underlining meaning.
Yeah.
Some of them. This one, I guess. Number three, Define Gravity. Of course. Come on.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
I jam to it when I'm running, so I feel like I have to put that.
Hmm.
Um, Number two is 17 from Heathers, which makes sense. Kind of on
Yeah.
brand for me.
I thought you were gonna put Meant to
Um,
Be Yours if you were gonna put something from Heather's.
I was thinking about it, but then I was like, I kind of really love 17. I play that a lot. Um, yeah. I was going back and forth between those two, honestly. I was like, you know what? That one I kind of love the way, again, it shows how messed up Jamie and Veronica.
Mm.
Jamie. JD. Oh my God. And
Someone likes
Veronica.
Jamie Moscato.
Can we talk about how he was in the city? Bye. Um,
Which you predicted on the
I
last podcast. You
predicted,
you literally said, imagine we run into him on the street. Or I said it's one of us did. And then
yeah,
like boom, next day he posts he's in New York.
so hot. I can't. He's my favorite. He's actually gonna be in Natasha and the Comet. Oh my God, what is it called?
Oh, the Great Comet?
The Great Comet. Why did I say Natasha? He's gonna in the West End.
Oh.
I would kill to go.
I
Somebody fly me there.
Going to the West End is really on my bucket list. I That's my dream is to see a show on the West End.
Yeah, fly me there.
Maybe
I
one day
love
we
that
can afford it.
musical. When I saw it, loved it. I would love to see him. I would die. Okay, back to the. I think they're seating on the stage too, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh my God. I can only imagine you that close to Jamie. You would be, I don't know how I would revive you.
I'll be passed out. Okay, that's a whole different thing. And then number one is "I Dreamed a Dream" from Les Mis.
Beautiful. Good choice.
Makes sense.
It is, I will say, even though I don't love the Les Mis story, I do love the music. Some of the music's beautiful, it's stunning. Like
Yeah,
on my own, incredible. I
yeah, it
Dream
was
the
great.
Dream.
I was going that between that and "Do You Hear the People Sing" because I love that song. I don't know. That was literally my ringtone. Like I'm not even kidding. Like it was like and it was the beginning too, where they start very low and then
Mm.
go up.
Oh my God.
I loved it so
You know
much.
what's it's so funny that we both have Broadway ringtones. My ringtone when I was younger was Seize the Day from
Love it.
Newsies.
Wait, so mine right now is the yeet thing from SNL.
Yeet
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 skirt.
skirt.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we're talking about ringtones. I have it set on my phone. I don't know if you still have it too, but my ringtone for Skylar
Oh
specifically
yeah.
is, oh my God, I don't remember his username. The guy that always screams.
Spencer.
Spencer, yes.
Yeah.
And it's literally him going, Bestie, Bestie,
Pick up the
hello,
phone.
hello, pick up the phone. What's wrong with you, Bestie? Every
It's
time
so
Skylar
funny.
calls me, my phone goes off like
You
that.
know it's urgent when I'm calling you.
Yeah.
It's so
Dude, it
funny.
usually means that she won a lottery.
Yeah. It's like, should I buy them now? That's so funny.
Okay, my songs. I feel like my songs are gonna really throw you for a loop.
Really?
I don't think you're gonna expect any of them. Um, so number five is Who'd I Be from Shrek.
I love that song. Oh my God, I
It's
love
such a
Shrek.
good song, and I just love the meaning behind it. I just feel like I connect with the song a lot. Like when you have dreams and you always you wonder like, will you ever fulfill them? And it's like you're
Hmm.
longing, for more. I just felt like I always connected it, but also I'm very big on harmonies. If a song has
Yeah.
like insane harmonies, like more likely than not, it's gonna like be one of my favorite songs. And
Hmm.
at the end, when the three of them overlap and then they harmonize and they come together because you see all their dreams are actually like aligned with each other, like they each have something that the other one really wants. It's just, I think it's one of the most stunning trio songs written of all time.
My high school did Shrek.
Was it good?
It was actually really good. The guy who plays Shrek actually had a great voice. And the
Wow.
Fiona did too. I think she's a music teacher now. That makes sense.
Oh, wow. Good for her.
I loved it. Loved
Shout
it.
out music teacher Fiona.
And Freak Flag. Let your freak
Freak
flag
flag
wave.
wave. I love
Love
it.
it.
Um, Number
We should
four
listen
is
to that today. Sorry. Now I want to listen. Can we listen to that, please?
well, Shrek will be our car music today.
Yay.
Oh my God. And as we drive, the travel song will play.
Love it.
Iconic. Look at me. You got me saying iconic. Um, Number four is Can't Help Falling in Love from All Shook Up.
Oh, love that.
I've always loved that song, the Elvis song, but
Mhm.
specifically in All Shook Up, and I'll play it for you because I don't know if you've heard that version.
Oh, I
But
have.
you've
I
heard
actually
it?
saw also the
Oh, you saw
the
it? I saw it too.
it was a Long Island theater, so it's not
I saw the I believe it was
okay.
the tour.
It was okay. Let's just say it was all
Community
right.
theater.
Yeah.
But the harmonies at the end are just stunning.
Hmm.
When they like when it's like the big build up and they go, take my hand.
Yeah.
It's just it's a moment that always really moves me when I hear it, and it just like made my appreciation for the song way more. And I don't know, it just means a lot to me,
It's a
because
good one.
yeah, it's just like it's just also really sweet. Like I can't help falling in love with you, like 'cause I just love you so much, and it's just like, I just love it. Number three is the song For the First Time from Tarzan. It is a new song that was written for the Broadway show, which is actually a duet
Mhm.
between Tarzan and Jane. And they're both like kind of off in their own corners, singing about the other one. And it's like, I'm really in love with them. How do I impress them? And Jane's like questioning herself, like, this is not who I am. Like, why am I feeling things for this man? And like, I feel like I'm changing, but I'm changing for the better. And they both realize that they're changing for the better. She wants to be more of like a wild woman for him, but he wants to be more of like a gentleman for her. And it's just like it's very similar to Can't Help Falling in Love. There's such actually no, it's more similar to Who I Be, where there's gorgeous overlapping.
Yeah. I just added
And
it to listen to after.
oh my God, I want to wait, don't listen until we're in the car
Oh,
together because I
all
want to
right. Well,
listen
yeah.
with you.
Okay, yeah.
But it's my favorite Broadway love song of all
Oh,
time. I just think it's one of the most beautiful duets. I can listen to it on repeat over and over again and never get bored of it. And what's interesting is number three and number four choices are both shows that star Jen McGann-Matisse. So that's
oh, that's
interesting.
weird. Yeah.
Um, Number two is my favorite Broadway hype song of all time that makes me dance, which is It's Your Wedding Day from The Wedding Singer, which is the opening song from that show.
I love The
I
Wedding
just,
Singer.
it's so good and it's
I
so
forgot about that
underrated.
one. I forgot about that.
It's so
Oh,
underrated, but that song is such a jam. That is
yeah, it
a
really
bop,
is.
okay? And again, the harmonies, I just love it at the very end and like the little build up with the bridge when they're like and the bride and groom and they start dancing and then there's the whole breakdown. It's just like it's so good. That will always be my hype song. Like, mm. And
I love
then
Broadway.
I love Broadway. And then number one is actually it's a Broadway song, but it's also my favorite song of just all time, which is Beauty and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Great. That's
Um,
beautiful.
that song, since I was little, is just like I don't know, it moves me so much. Like I could hear the first note of it and I instantly start crying. Like I'm literally picturing it in my head, like I could hear it and I just like I'm getting
Yeah,
emotional.
so
It's
beautiful.
just that song is has always been like my dream song. Like, and specifically the Broadway orchestrations. I mean, the Disney movie version is such a classic. It's my favorite Disney scene of all time with her and Beast on the floor and the way the ballroom. It's just like it's just them in that moment. It's stunning to me. But specifically the Broadway orchestrations, the way this song starts, it builds up to it like it's like like it's actually like a throwback to like one of the other songs on the show, and then it builds up and like you hear like a little bit of something there, and then it builds up, builds up, builds up, and then they do the first note, dun dun
Yeah.
dun, and just oh my God, I'm getting emotional. I cry every time.
What's the Belle song that she sings? Oh my
Home,
God.
home,
No,
or the other one.
the other one.
Oh my God. Now that you said it, it's like going on my mind. The other song I
Right?
actually sang for auditions, that was in my book. Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
God.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Some starts with an S. Is it not on the album?
No, it's not a song from the album.
Oh my God.
Uh,
Let me look up Susan.
A change in me.
Thank you. I love that song.
That song is that also honorary on my list.
Oh,
That song I just
beautiful.
connect with so much. Like it just reminded me like a change in me. It's like reminds me of when like I fell in love, you know? And like how it just like makes you change for the better and it makes you grow and it's like your heart longs for this person now. I
Yeah,
don't know.
literally.
That song also means a lot to me, but Beauty and the Beast specifically will always be my favorite song of all time. And that
Beautiful.
will never move from that spot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
I
don't think
think
my songs will change. I don't know.
yeah, I feel like when you have like a song that means a lot to you, it doesn't move. Like you know what's interesting? Like neither of us put an outsider song on here.
You're right.
We didn't put that. We didn't put Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah. Interesting.
You know what's it's so weird. I agree with you. Like my songs don't change, but my musicals do. But my musicals that change don't ever really influence my songs.
Right? Isn't that weird?
I feel like it's because these are the songs that meant so much to us, like growing up, and that
Yeah.
we've connected to over the years.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, each of these songs like just means something to me.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Interesting. Well, that's cool. That was fun.
Hmm. Yeah, really fun episode 10, guys.
Well, I think it also gives them a further look into us as individuals
Yeah,
and what
yeah.
we my stomach just growled so loudly. I hope you didn't hear it.
I heard it. It's
Um
okay. What a way to end the episode, Skylar.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm dead. Um,
Everyone really wants to get to know a stomach growl.
growls so loudly. Um, I'm pretty hungry. But yeah, I think it really shows like us as like individuals, if that makes
Yeah.
sense,
And I
which
think
is
they
cool.
learn like our differences, but also our similarities. And
Yeah.
and it's important for, everyone out there to get to know us a little bit more as people. So
Yeah.
I really hope you all enjoyed this episode. Once again, we say it every week, but please, please, please go and follow us on our socials. We're actually about to hit a very big milestone. We're almost at 300 followers on TikTok. Um,
Yeah.
we are super excited. Our TikTok account is at Love Letters to Bway with one Y, and on Instagram we are at Love Letters to Bway with two Ys because one Y wasn't available. And then also any business inquiries, you can reach us at loveletterstobroadway@gmail.com. Once again, that's at loveletterstobroadway@gmail.com. We can be reached at all hours of the night, 24/7. Please feel free
Please
to
reach
reach
out.
out.
Yeah. And I think next week we'll talk about Sunset Boulevard because now we're gonna see it twice. I think it's time we talk about it.
Oh, it is time. I have to talk about it.
It's time. It's like when the Mariah Carey comes out Defrost for Christmas. That's gonna be
Yeah.
us. It's time.
It's true. Um,
Literally.
well, anyway, I guess let's try to do this again. Let's see if we could get it like right for episode 10.
Okay.
Okay.
We
We
are
are
signing
signing
off
off on
on
our
our 10
10
love
love
letter
letter
to
to
Broadway.
Broadway.
That
Not
wasn't bad.
bad.
Not bad, not
No,
bad.
we just gotta do it a little quicker.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
that
good.
was, yeah.
All right, my name is
Yay!
Skylar.
And I'm Michelle, and we are signing off.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Have a good
See
week.
you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.